Hey guys, Mr. Chapman here. This is the second video in a series on Microsoft Access databases. The first video we covered just the basic setup of a database file. My assumption is that you've been successful in that. And in your Year 10 IST folder, inside a folder you've named Database Systems, you have a Microsoft Access database that you will be able to then start to create database objects in. Now, I'm going to work through a series of skills in this screencast. I encourage you to pause. If I'm going too fast through a skill, pause the video, rewind, and sort of work along through it at your own pace. Okay, so if I go into my documents, inside my 10 IST folder, 10 IST 2016, in my database systems folder, I have two things that I want to quickly touch on. The first one is the students access database file. That is the one that we created last lesson, and it is an empty database file. In addition to that, I have this Word document which is titled Data Dictionary Students DB. Now, if I go into that Word document, it is a plan of the database that I want to build. Now, the Data Dictionary is a very important planning tool, and it's an overview of all the fields that I want to create. So that's the first column. Second column is the data type, and third column is the description. Now, there are sometimes additional columns in a data dictionary, like the field size, which I haven't included, but we can talk about that in class. So this is the main stuff that I need in order to get up and running with Microsoft Access. So I'm just going to minimize that Word document, and I'm going to open the students database file that we created last lesson. When Microsoft Access opens, you have a main working window. On the left-hand side, you have a list, and it's called All Database or All Access Objects. And in here, I will build several objects. One is TBL students, and if I just do a double click on here, I can actually show you what it is that we're going to build, but we're going to build one from scratch. So what we're looking to develop is similar to a spreadsheet, field headings at the top, and you can see that I've entered one record into the database as well. Now, it takes a bit of work and a few processes to get to this point. So what this is actually showing you is the end product. What I'm going to spend a part of this video and the next video going through is the actual creation of a table. So first step, I'm going to delete that object, and this is, sorry, I need to close it first, and then I can delete it. And this is what you would be looking at. Okay, so building a database. The container of all of the information is a table. And to create any of the objects in Microsoft Access, you need to use the Create menu. We have a range of things that we can develop: tables, queries, reports, and then over on the right-hand side, you can see this button called Macro. Now, that's not for today, but basically, as a database developer, you've got control over the information, and you can also go in and do additional scripting if you want to. We probably won't get too much into it at this stage, but it is something that we'll definitely touch on later. Okay, so creating a table. We have to go to the Create menu, which we're currently looking at. We have to select Table. And the first thing I encourage you to do is to save the object and give it a name. So this would be called TBL Students. So it's a table, TBL, and it's based on students, something meaningful. That table one name that it defaults to doesn't really tell us anything. So it's good to name things appropriately. When you have saved that successfully, the next thing to do is to practice using the View tab in the upper left-hand corner. You can see there's a View drop-down menu, and there are two options. There's Data Sheet View, and there is Design View. Design View allows us to actually go in and define each of the individual fields and set up any properties that we want to set up. We can actually construct what we would call the back end of the database. And then when that is complete, we shift the view to the Data View, which is what I showed you earlier in the video with the constructed table. It's just ready for you to type in the information. So it's really a two-phase process. You have to construct the back end first, then you can enter data. Okay, so if I go to the design view, Microsoft Access gives us this blank design area, but it gives us one field. And in this field, it is giving us an ID, and it has a little arrow of a primary key. Now, in the next video, I'm actually going to go through the entire setup of the table. So I'm going to finish this video here, but what I will say, in this view, it's very important to make sure that you're aware of just the different areas of the screen. So I'll do that and I'll finish up this video, and in the next video, we'll actually go through the setup of the table proper. Okay, so similar to the Word document that I showed you earlier, where we've got the plan, field names, data types, and description and example, we have a similar look and feel inside Microsoft Access. Field name, data type, and then description. And it says that that's optional, which means you don't have to type in information there, but I encourage you to do that. On the left-hand side, you can see that we have the objects list, which you can see all of the time. And then at the top, you can see this initial one that it gives you. It has this primary key button clicked or selected. That indicates that this is a special field called a primary key, and it's like a unique identifier. And I encourage you to have one of your fields always set to be a primary key. And this one is formatted to an auto number, which means that it will automatically increment as you enter more records. So it's very handy. Okay, we're going to end this video here, and in the next video, I will start with constructing the design of the database table. So thanks for watching.